What's up, everybody? Jadu and Jonah, the Banking Bros, here today to play a little game, a little back and forth of Stump the Chump. Hey, everybody, we are here, and we're going to play a little game today on this episode of the podcast. I'm Jadu.
I'm Jonah.
And we are the Banking Bros here at the Cash Compound, where we help you crack the code to cash flow, get excited about building your wealth, and doing it in a very specific way, a niche way that you may not have understood when you thought in general terms under the big umbrella of insurance.
That's right. And today we're taking some of we're grabbing the hardest possible questions from.
Whoa.
You're cheating.
I was already going.
You're cheating, man. We're grabbing the hardest possible questions from our social platforms.
Yeah.
Our Instagrams, our TikToks, our Facebooks, and we're going to try to stump each other with the questions that you've asked. So not only are we going to go back and forth, we'll shout you out if we're asking your question with your username or your actual name if you're putting that on the internets, and we're going to see how it goes.
Yes. So we appreciate you always getting into our DMs, into our comment threads and things like that to ask us things, because we realize that over the course of the last 8 years since we've been practicing what is known as the infinite banking concept, it is not general knowledge to everybody out there. Even if you do know a little bit about life insurance, a little bit about banking, a little bit about whole life, a little bit about stuff other people have said on the internet. A lot of things have misconceptions out there, and you're asking about them, so we love it. All right, Jonah, I'm ready for the first question.
Okay, maybe I'll start easy and get harder as we go.
You can try. I got this.
I'm going to try to stump you. So first off, I'm pulling from all over the place. Okay. So I've got one.
Which platform, so people know like where they can find us?
I'm currently on TikTok right now, and I'm on our username, The Banking Bros. So if you're not following us on TikTok yet, make sure you check that out. Okay. And that's where I'm pulling from right now. I'm going to switch back and forth, so I'll let you know when I switch. But what I've got right now is an easy one. Okay. Easy one for you to start off with. It's from, man, I'm going to mess it up. I'm sorry. It's Temet Nosi 369. And he is asking for a list of recommended books.
Oh, okay. Very good. Recommended books. So first off, the infinite banking concept is actually something that was coined by a man named Nelson Nash. And he wrote the book that is the foundational platform for what we are all about. So that book, ladies and gentlemen, BYOB, Becoming Your Own Banker. We love the 5th edition, and that is the main book that I'd start. But we also have lots of friends who've written books in this area, and we actually love these people, even though you might say we're competing against them in the marketplace. So check out my buddy Caleb. It is Caleb Williams' birthday.
Happy birthday, Caleb.
As we record this, so Caleb is out there in Colorado. We love Caleb as well. He wrote one that we love called The And Asset. Mary Jo Ehrman, for those of you who are in the rural community and are farmers and ranchers.
I talked to somebody yesterday. Well, I don't know the technical term.
I don't either.
I don't know the difference between farmer and rancher.
Correct.
But he was going to use his whole life policy, the cash value available to him, to buy some more cattle. He said, I've got a pretty good deal. I can buy a bunch of cattle. And the way he had them set up, he was like, and these cattle will earn me a bunch of residual income this year, and I think that's what I'm going for.
Oh, cool.
And I was like, that sounds great. I don't know what you're doing.
Correct.
And quite honestly, even if you told me, I might not understand.
Yeah, I'm
not
interested.
In that world,
but residual income. Yeah,
so,
very good.
So he said, I've seen all of your podcast episodes. So I am not going to say your name because I just chatted with you yesterday and all those things. But if you're listening right now to this episode, the book that he's referring to is...
So there's 2 books that she wrote. She's great. Okay. For those of you who are in the game, like Jonah's new friend, it is Farming Without the Bank. For those of you who are not in the game, kind of like us, then maybe you start with their other book, Life Without the Bank. All right. So you can go there. There's one called Heads I Win, Tails You Lose. If I'm saying that right, Patrick Donahoe. Great book. I read that one more recently. Garrett Gunderson. A lot of people have seen you because he's made a lot of videos and things like that. So Garrett Gunderson's books, he's got a couple different ones, Killing Sacred Cows and some other ones like that. So, and of course, one of them that we contributed to.
Absolutely.
Mapping Out the Millionaire Mystery by Brent Kessler and Chris Noggle. Definitely get that one.
If you have that book, look at the last page. There's a promo link in there for you.
Yes, and people have found us because of that, because they went all the way through the book, so we're in that one. Okay, that's my question. Okay,
You're
so
up.
here's one for you, and I just want to. I'm going to see. Okay, I might have to get a little deeper in this guy's question
Oh, boy.
because I just mentioned.
I gave you an easy one.
I just mentioned this.
Okay.
So I want it to be harder for you. But this guy says, Winston and Dow. Now, this is on a different TikTok account that we have called The Cash Compound. Check us out there, too. Slightly different material between the two. Okay, while you guys are sounding a lot like Nelson, I'm following you now. Who is Nelson?
Nelson Nash, just mentioned him in his our favorite book, Becoming Your Own Banker, BYOB. Again, we like the 5th edition, but Nelson R. Nash, that's his middle initial, right?
R. Nelson Nash.
I messed
Survey
it up.
says
R. Nelson Nash is the person who actually kind of, I guess we call him the godfather of infinite banking here. So he actually is the one who coined the term IBC, the infinite banking concept. He's actually has passed. He passed away just a few years ago. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say 2019.
I think it was maybe. I think it's already 4 years now.
Really? Okay. So a little bit ago, but he still has a institute where he actually will certify you if you want to learn all about IBC, the infinite banking concept, as a certified practitioner. But anyway, he's the guy who kind of discovered for the common man back in '92 when he originally wrote his book that you can practice banking with whole life policies, and so that's. We love him, man. So
Yeah.
Who's Nelson? Nelson's kind of the godfather here of infinite banking, who we're looking up to.
Okay, and what type of
This is the
economist?
second question.
What type of economist is he when it comes to
I don't even
economic theory? I told you I was going to go deeper.
He is. I know the answer. Austrian.
That is correct.
Economics.
Austrian. Okay, and
Come on
what
now.
was his original? What was his original? What was he trained in? He always said like
Forestry. Come on now.
Okay,
Come on now,
forestry.
son.
Yeah.
All right, I'm killing it. Okay, I've got same TikTok. I'm going to switch after this one. I've got a good question from Van Mick 1. He's asking what would be a good number. Well, he didn't spell check his comment here.
No one does.
But he says, what would be a good number or amount to start with? 10-20,000.
Yes,
I like it.
is the answer.
Explain more.
Okay, so number one, sometimes people are wondering, first off, is there some sort of minimum threshold that you guys say that you have to be at for you as the consumer to work with us? No. Okay, so we work with anybody. You can do whatever numbers make sense to you. Also, let me break this down for you. Premium. When we're dealing with insurance, we've got phone insurance and car insurance and home insurance. Premiums for whole life insurance policies used for banking do not change, but they are consistent, folks. So there's a mode of premium. So you pay those bills monthly or annually in most cases. Sometimes people even do quarterly or semi-annual. So pick one of those that you plan to be doing, and whatever number you want to choose, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, all the way to 20,000 annually per month. Great. Doesn't matter to us. You get to pick those numbers. So a good number is not really how you should be thinking about it. Exactly, because every dollar that goes inside a whole life insurance policy premium built for banking will compound and grow for you for your whole life.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. Whole life. You pick the number.
Oh, I had sounds. Well, say it again.
All right.
Say it again.
So whatever number you pick, just plan to be putting it in there, generally speaking, for your whole life.
There we go. I was ready.
Unintended. So whole life insurance lasts your whole life. So you do those numbers however you want to do it. Call us and talk to us about the specifics to make sure you understand anything beyond what I haven't shared with you in our 1 little minute answer today. There's your answer. How'd I do?
I'll take it.
Boom. Rando. Right. This person said,
Shout
that's
them
not
out.
a question.
Okay.
We're not going for like the trolls today. I think we're just answering legitimate questions.
Not troll time.
No, trolls.
That's for a different
yeah.
episode. I had one that was going to be troll time, so I'll pick a new one.
Okay, so here's one. So
Yep.
it kind of piggybacks off what I just said.
Okay.
So what if he, I think general person here, what if he started with the lump sum of 10 grand and from there you added maybe 200, 300 a month? Would that work?
Started with a lump sum of 10 grand, and from there added $200 or $300 a month.
Yep.
It will work. I would say that he's just thinking about it the wrong way. So let me explain to those of you who are at home. When you get started with an infinite banking contract, a policy contract, an insurance policy that's going to work like a bank, the way that we design them, you actually have kind of full reign over what you're going to put into the contract at the very beginning. Meaning you can say, I just won the lottery, or I just got a bonus from work, or tax season just started. I'm getting started with my policy, and now I want to deposit a big lump sum of money at the beginning. You can totally do that. But the way that we build our policies is that you also pay a premium as you continue the policy throughout time. So like Jeremiah just said, you can do that monthly or annually or whatever you want to do, but we're going to have a premium that continues. So for that particular person, could they get started with $10,000 up front and then only maintain a premium of $200 or $300 a month? Absolutely, you can. Totally cool. You can totally get started with that. I probably have 10 or 15 people who have started just like that, those exact numbers, honestly.
Oh, right. Yeah, for sure. Exact numbers?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So yeah, that would work. No problem at all. No problem at all. Okay, I've got a good one. So I moved over to our Instagram account for all those who are following us on Instagram here, and that is The Cash Compound on Instagram, just in case you want to follow us and you're not doing it yet. So we put out a post where it talks about the ingredients to a banking policy. It's a very recent post.
Yes.
Kind of compared it to a cake for half a second by saying, if you've got the wrong ingredients in the cake, it's not a cake. You can't put in too much of this or too much of that. Can't make a pie and call it a cake. You got to have the right ingredients.
Yep.
We even listed the right ingredients out, 1, 2, 3, 4. So the question that I'm making up, because I have a comment that I'm going to read too, but the question I'm making up for you is, what are the 4 ingredients?
Yeah.
Did we say? And then the comment I wanted to read was a person who said, we're saying a whole lot of words that don't mean anything.
Right. I saw that.
But again, we listed all 4 of them. So that's the question for you.
Okay, what are the 4?
What are the 4?
Ingredients. The ingredients that we talked about, the main things are you want to have a whole life insurance policy.
That's correct.
From a mutual company.
1.
Those were all the same ones?
Those are the one,
okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's 1. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. The next one is going to be that, well, I don't know the order because I think this was actually the 3rd one, if I remember in that post, is you're going to want to have paid up additions.
That's correct.
As a writer, as a part of this contract from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You're going to want to have, participating is probably what the second one was.
That's correct.
Participating policy. So those of you who might know what that means, participating means you're going to get some dividends. Okay, so mutual company dividends. You want to have a participating policy. Those are 3 of the 4, and the 4th one is you want to have non-direct recognition.
Ding ding ding.
Of
killed it.
Those. Okay, great, love it. You want a non-direct recognition of your policy loans.
That's exactly correct.
Okay, here's one for you, DB Fan 83, responding to something that I was in on TikTok.
Okay.
You're 37? Would not have called that in the slightest. That's the first half of the question. So, answer that question. You're 37?
I'm not, but you are. Sure. You just had a birthday.
I was about to say, that's incorrect. That's incorrect.
He tried to get me, okay?
Okay, so I was, 1 week ago when I posted this, I was 37. Okay, I'm 38 now. It's the Baby Soft Skin. I got it from my mama. Okay, and second part is, so your monthly would be $370 a month. Help people understand what he's probably talking about, as I was saying, thresholds for beginning a policy contract.
Yeah, absolutely. So
a lot of people wonder.
In that video, I think you're specifying what, so many people ask us how much they have to put into the policy in order to get started. And like we kind of specified even already on this episode, you can put in as much as you want, right? We've talked to people who do 10,000, 50,000, 100,000, more than that into their policy contract. I'm talking to somebody yesterday who's doing $200,000 into their policy contract, right? But then at the same time, we talk to those folks who go, I love it. I want to get started, but I don't have 200,000. And I relate to you. I was in your boat when I started. I don't know. Who has that? I didn't have that when I
didn't know people who had that.
And so I'm thinking, okay, well, I really want to get started. I don't have a bunch. is there like a number I have to do? And that's the video that you actually put out. How much you've got to put in to get started as a minimum threshold. Again, go way above the minimum threshold if you want, but as a minimum threshold, we specified in that video that you've got to at least do 10 times your age per month. So being 37 last week or 2 weeks ago, it would have been $370. That's 10 times your age per month, $370 a month. If I'm not mistaken, that's going to push you at 40 some hundred a year, right? $4,300 a year without my calculator.
Something. Yeah.
So that's what it would be for that policy, a minimum threshold policy for you.
Yep.
We've also talked in many episodes where if that number still doesn't make sense for you, that you can insure other members of your family. You've got some kids.
Yep.
I saw them the other day, and you could start the policy with them being the insured as opposed to you
And they have different ages.
In order to help
Right.
out with that threshold, that minimum threshold of income and getting started. So
Ding, ding, ding. I think you did
you
fine.
can get started with lots and lots and lots of different numbers. I've seen it all. You can't trick me.
All right, we got a couple minutes left. Got another question for me?
Let me scroll. Let's see what we got. Came across one that says, how much does it cost to start? But they always ask that. How much is necessary to start on like 7 different
What's
posts?
beautiful
They
about some of
always
the
ask.
platforms that we're using right now are many new people are seeing us.
Yeah.
So it's great to be leaders or repeaters. We want to lead you down the path that's going to help you set yourself financially free using something that is no risk, all reward. We just want to make sure you use it well.
Oh, this is a good one.
So we love to have the same questions.
Okay, it is
new people coming.
Hey, Hadar with an R back on TikTok is asking where he can find the podcast.
All right. So if you're listening to us right now, congratulations. You have found the podcast, or maybe it's some other place.
Or the video cast on YouTube.
Video.
So if you want to hear the podcast on your way to work, on your way to the dentist, on your way to wherever else you're going.
It's called The Cash Compound on all of your favorite streaming service platforms. The Cash Compound. Also, if you're on your machine, device, anywhere right now, click the links. Click the bio links. You'll find us in there, and we've got a aggregate, is that the word, of all of our links where you can find longer versions, more stuff, our online courses, everything like that. Okay.
I got one more for you. I'm ready. I'm skipping. Indigo Sag says, thanks for the education. Working on my list of questions and my wallet before I contact you. What would you say to that?
I would assume that when they're talking about their wallet, they mean a digital wallet, maybe a crypto.
I'm not sure. He didn't specify. Just said he's working on it.
So it doesn't mean that they are for sure, but I would guess that somebody's talking about some sort of, hey, let me get my money right first before I call you. So I'll actually answer the way I dealt with that issue myself when we first got started. Both of us ended up with policy contracts for banking, IBC out there, in the same year, 2016. But I was going to get my money right, too. I was going to have the checking go to the savings, savings go to the checking. And Jonah helped me realize something that I was not getting at the outset of I think I'm ready to get started. And that was, you literally said this to me, hey, I don't think we're supposed to wait because every dollar that goes in, it's compounding. So it's going to get better and better all the time. So the longer you wait, the more you miss out on what that return will be in just the compound effect part over the course of your lifetime. So we should get in some money now. We should go ahead and start. And at the time you were saying, I don't think you should wait to save up $10,000 for a whole year. Like, just put in what you can at this point. And I think you, and we've learned now, can get some more policies and you're not going to want to miss out. So for those of you out there who think you're not ready to chat with us, chatting is free 99. Let's talk about you starting.
I'd love to talk with you.
Yep.
I got some things I want to share. You're taking too long.
You're killing me.
Brian, on YouTube now. I'm on YouTube. The Cash Compound is our channel on YouTube.
Oh.
Brian obviously commented on a previous episode. We shouted him out on the next episode, and he commented back. An unexpected shout out. Keep doing what you guys are doing. Great content. So, Brian, thanks for watching, man.
Love it. Not a question.
It wasn't. No, I just shouted him out.
Okay, here's this one. We Z Ham 20.
Oh, I got a good one.
Wes Ham 20. Okay, so he said this first, and then he follows it up with a question. $320 a month if I'm 32. We kind of just covered that.
Yep.
So he knows that that's going to be his age's minimum threshold of premium to start. Here's his next question. When is the break even or cash flow point?
Two different questions.
That's how he asked.
But pretty good.
What
That's
is
what he
the
asked.
break
Okay.
even or cash flow point?
Or cash flow point. Let me handle that part first. So from the get-go in these policies, you're going to have cash flow, meaning you can get the money out of the policy and spend it on stuff. Anything you want. Cars, houses, boats, redo the kitchen, pay off student loans, go on vacation, anything you want.
I had
That's
a
going to
birthday.
start.
I had a birthday. Send it to me.
That's going to start with immediately. And kind of our definition of immediate has always been within 30 days. So right away, you're going to be able to take cash. You're going to have cash flow right away. Now, he's also asking about break-even point. So I guess he's talking about when the dollars that he puts in the policy and the dollars that he's taken out of the policy, or I guess he's saying the dollars that I'm taking out of the policy are even with or greater than the dollars I've put in.
I would guess.
But here's the kind of issue that I've got with that question. I'll answer the question for you, but here's the issue I've got with that question. When I say, let's just take a first year, for example. We've talked about first year a lot. So let's say you deposit $500 a month into your policy. And that very first month, you put in $500, right away you can take out money and you're able to take out $250, right?
Okay, yep.
Now, a lot of people ask this question and I just have to address it because they're thinking about the process wrong. What they say is, I put in $500, I only took out $250, where's my other $250, right? They ask that so often, right?
Yes.
It's kind of going to lead me into his question, what he's asking, but it's the wrong thought process. Because if you're thinking I put in $500 to take out $250, you're assuming, or your brain's tricking you into thinking that you took out your own money, right? Where's the other $250? It's like I put in $5, I withdrew $250. But hopefully you're learning from us that when you're taking out loans from your policy, borrowing out of your policy, it's in the two words that I said, loans and borrow. That money that's coming out is not yours. So I would have to remind you, or I'd argue with you, that your $500 that was put in is still there. And then the insurance company has given you $250. So I'd argue with you that you're at $750, right?
It's a good argument.
Now, however, he's asking a question, when's the break-even point? So I guess he's specifically just saying, okay, maybe I understand that aspect, but when can I take out more than I can put in?
Than I've contributed so far. Yeah. So
Sure.
if I'm putting in $500 and they're allowing me to take $250, that's still less than what I've contributed.
Right.
So here we go.
Right. And so I would answer that question and say, in a properly designed policy for banking, you're probably going to see the break-even point over a specific year, 1 year, on somewhere around the third to fifth year. That's when you're going to see it. Meaning you're going to put in $500 and you're going to be able to take out more than $500. That's when it's going to happen. On the policies that we're going to design, we'll obviously show that to you, right? After you get started or right before you get started or whatever. So that way you can see that as a total aggregate, cumulative total, right? Does this make sense? Because I put in $500, I took out $250, put in $500, took out whatever, $350, put in $500 and take out $500.
Every
right?
mode of premium, you're going to put in $500 again.
And there you go.
So when does the aggregate?
So when the aggregate, you're probably going to see that somewhere between years 6 and 8. That's how they're built. That's what you'll see on the YouTubes out there if you're watching other folks or you're studying or you're looking to see which policy is more efficient. But here's the key. Don't get hung up on those numbers. The policy's about use. Back to my $500 is staying in there while I got to spend their $250. I'm at $750. It's about use, right?
Yeah.
That's a really, really big deal. So it's a good question.
I actually like the way you answered that a lot because we really gave him 3 ways to think about it.
Yeah.
So if you got confused on that, try to go back and just rewind.
Rewind it again.
And listen to him again.
Yeah. Sorry, I was going to try to do reverse, but it's
really
not going to
good.
work.
I wasn't expecting you to give us all 3 angles of that.
Yeah.
Wow. Very good.
It happens.
One last question, I think, Jonah. I'm going to double up on you, and then
Okay.
we are done. So this one is great, and it's a great way to close things off in Stump the Chump. It's a little game we're playing. DJA 57. How do I start the process?
I feel like you had 2 DJs. DJ A, great question, man. Thanks for watching, listening, whatever you're doing. You start the process by clicking the link in our bio and getting on our calendar. We want to talk to you. We want to walk you through the process, the next steps. All you've got to do is reach out to us. We've got calendar links and like everything on every platform.
Hopefully you can find us.
Yeah, so reach out. It should say free consultation right at the top. You'll put in your name and number, and we'll call you. And we'll walk you through it, man. We absolutely look forward to doing that. We'll walk you through your specific situation. We'll talk you through it. We'll show you things, whatever we can do to help you get going. That's how you move forward. we've got lots of those. I skipped a bunch of those in my scrolling. Bunch of people asking,
everybody wants to know.
It's okay.
We're here for you. So, guys, thank you once again for tuning in or listening or watching, however you digest us at the Cash Compound. We're J.Do and Jonah, the Banking Bros, and we will talk to you very soon about cracking the code to cash flow.